So I added a couple of slides to my presentation tonight because I want to look at a bit of the Bible. What does the Bible say about the mission of Jesus? And here, there's an interesting episode whereby everyone is looking for Jesus. That's what Peter says. Everyone's looking for you, Jesus. And that's because Jesus has been healing them of all kinds of diseases. But then Jesus says, let's go somewhere else. Jesus runs away. He goes to the nearby villages and he says, so that I can preach there also. That is why I've come. And here, what Jesus is saying is that my personal mission is not just to meet all these needs, although it's very important, but it's ultimately to preach the gospel. That's his mission. And he says it again in Luke chapter 4, various kinds of needs are there, the illnesses, demon possession, and they're all coming to Jesus. But Jesus says, I must proclaim the gospel to the other towns also. Same thing. But then he says, because this is why I was sent. Previously, he says, this is why I have come. This is his personal mission. But this is his external mission, the reason why God has sent him. And the Latin word for sent is the word missio, where we get the word mission. Jesus' mission, again, is not just to meet all these very, very important, urgent needs, but ultimately it's just that one need, to help people to respond and to hear the gospel. And what we see here essentially is a narrowing focus when it comes to the context, but an expanding reach when it comes to the community. Whatever context you're in, whatever needs there are, at the end of the day, we have to narrow it down to the gospel. And whatever community you're in, you have to expand it beyond just the walls of your church, of your CG, but to bring the gospel to all nations. And that's what Jesus says in the Great Commission. Go make disciples of all nations. There's that focus again. You make disciples. You make disciples by baptizing them, by teaching them the gospel, teaching them to obey the gospel. That means you're focusing on Jesus, focusing on what he's done for us on the cross. But also you're expanding the reach to all nations. All nations means not just our nation. All nations just also means not just our church. So again, two things when it comes to mission. There's that focus, but also there's that expansion when it comes to the context and the community of the gospel.